already told you.
You put the dishes in the dishwasher?
Yes, and it was exhausting. I bought some from your room. I cleaned it last Saturday.
You're supposed to clean it every Saturday. Please do it now, Jenny. It won't take long. Then, when you have all of your chores out of the way, you can have the rest of the weekend to enjoy yourself.
All right.
That's my boy.
But first, I better pick up my army men. March 2, 3, 4.
Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4.
And my dinosaur collection. You guys need to get back on the shelf where you belong. And I almost forgot my toy robot monkey action figures. Hey, that didn't take too long, Mom. I finished cleaning my room.
Well, now, it looks much better. Uh-oh.
What?
You forgot to make your bed.
I cleaned it.
Oh, Mom, why do I have to make my bed?
Oh, Mom, why do I have to make my bed? It's just gonna get messed up again. I cleaned up my army men, my dinosaur collection, and my toy robot monkey action figures. So why do I have to make my bed? It's just gonna get messed up again.
That reminds me of a story about your grandmother when she was a little girl.
Grandma used to be a little kid, like me.
Of course, why wouldn't she?
I just figured she started old, like you.
No, we were all little kids once. See down the hallway with that black and white picture hanging on the wall? That's your grandmother when she was your age.
She looks grumpy.
Oh, yes. On that day, I bet she was as grumpy as a grandpa, because her mother said, make your bed.
I already washed and dried the dishes. I dusted my roll records. I picked up my sinking and my hula hoops and my roller skates.
Hey, I have roller skates.
Yes, you do.
Did Grandma have robot monkey action figures?
I don't think so.
Gee whiz, Mom, why do I have to make my bed?
Her mother just tapped her foot and said, that reminds me of a story about your grandfather when he was a little boy. And that little boy was as mad as a wet cat. And he said,
Wait, why is he dressed like that?
the clothes were pretty different back then.
Back when?
Let's see, your great-grandfather would have been a little boy around 1910.
Whoa.
And that little boy said,
I already fetched water.
I fetched water from the pump. And I dusted off the phonograph.
Wait, what's a phonograph?
it's like a record player.
Oh, wait, what's a record player?
Let's get back to the story.
I even picked up my spinning top and my toy train and my tin soldiers. Pray tell, Mother, why do I have to make my bed?
The mother just smirked and said, that reminds me of a story about your great-grandmother when she was a little girl.
What decade is she from?
The 1800s, the Old West.
Cool.
We don't say corn old west, we say yeehaw.
But that little girl was as bothersome as a badger, and she said,
I already used you water from the well, this is on the hospital, taking my loss and my mom and my $5. Man's sakes, Mom, why do I have to make my bed?
her mother just scrubbed the wood floors of the cabin and said, that reminds me of a story about your great-grandmother when she was a little girl.
Where is she from?
The 1600s.
Why is she flying back and forth in her bedroom?
She's not in her bedroom, she's a pilgrim, and she's on a boat, traveling across the Atlantic Ocean.
Get on with the story, please. I'm getting seasick.
And that little girl was as cantankerous as an old sea dog, and she said,
I already swabbed the deck and dusted off the captain's fly smoke. I even picked up the rats that were hiding in the pickle barrel.
Jamie, gross. Gross.
Gross.
So why do I have to make my bed? My mother hooked her tongue and said, that reminds me of a story about your double great
great-grandmother when she was a little girl.
Now, how far?
Now how far back are we going?
Hundreds of years, back to the Middle Ages.
Like the kings and queens?
Like when kings and queens?
No, she was a peasant, but she was very adventurous and loved to frolic and play outside. Sounds familiar, but on this day, she was as wicked as a warlock, and she said,
I already sheared the sheep.
I already sheared the sheep and milked the yak. I even dusted off sister's loom.
Planted wheat.
I planted the wheat.
You picked up all of the
I picked up all of the
pig droppings.
pig droppings.
That's even grosser than the rats in the pickle barrel.
We used the animal droppings to stoke our fire, but
It is kind of gross.
it is kind of gross.
Make my bed.
So why do I have to make my bed?
her mother just put her hand on her hip and said, that reminds me of a story about your double great grandmother when she was a little girl, and that little girl was as more thunderous than Thor, and she said,
Oh, I know. We're back in the Viking times.
Silence, Granny boy. This is my seat. I already stoked the fire for the sword measure. I dusted off the sacred blowing horn. I even picked up the broken spears and patched up Father's war wounds.
No toys to put away?
Toys? What are toys?
I guess not.
So tell me, Mama Viking, after all this work, why do I have to make my bed?
her mother just burped and said,
I shall tell you, my obnoxious Viking daughter, that all of your grumbling reminds me of a story of your triple great grandfather when he was a little boy. And that boy was as angry as a caged up lion. And he said,
make way, gladiators are coming through.
Gladiators? We must be in ancient Rome.
121 AD, almost 2,000 years ago. No time to talk. I even got so much to do. I have to unclog the underdeck.
What are aqueducts?
They're how we get our water. After that, I dusted off the statues in the courtyard. After all of this, why do I have to make my bed?
That sounds hard.
Oh, it is.
Especially when lions are involved. So why do I have to make my bed?
His mother just brushed her golden hair and said, that reminds me of a story about your triple great grandmother when she was a little girl, and that little girl was as cranky as a crocodile, and she said,
Just how far does this story go?
Welcome to Egypt.
1000 BC.
It's hot and dry.
That's because we live on the edge of the Sahara Desert, close to the Nile River.
Where are the pyramids?
We're still working on them. It's my job to give water to the pyramid builders, which I've already done this morning. And I gathered up the plague of frogs, big bad snuck in our tent. So why do I have to make my bed? Isn't it just going to get messed up again?
Her mother just brushed a toad from her tunic and said, that reminds me of a story about one of your ancestors when she was a little girl. And that little girl was as sore as a saber-toothed tiger. And she said,
Where are we going now?
back to the days of the Stone Age, 30,000 BC.
Wow, were there dinosaurs back then?
No, dinosaurs were already extinct, but humans had to deal with all sorts of unruly creatures, like mantids, cave bears.
Children, while I'm gathering and Father is hunting, these children won't stop asking me questions. Me clean cave, me hunt mammoth, me dust stalagmites. Me make fire. Why me make bed? Isn't just going to get messed up again? Why?
And that cave mom looked at her cave daughter, and she was the first person in the history of the world to utter this phrase.
Because I said so.
Said the cave girl, who ran her beds of sticks of fur.
Oh.
Said the Egyptian girl, who fluffed up her bed of flax and linen.
Oh.
Said the Roman boy, who smoothed the wrinkles out of his wool blanket.
Oh.
Said the Viking girl, who shook fleas out of her caribou hide. Oh. Said the medieval girl, who stuffed more goose feathers into her pillow.
Oh.
Said the pilgrim girl, who neatly folded her mother's quilt. Said the country girl, who eats handfuls of hay into her mattress. Oh. Said the city boy, who tucked his sheets under the corners.
Oh.
Said your grandmother, who made everything tidy and neat.
Oh.
And that, my dear son of mine, is the end of the story.
Oh,
My son said.
I guess I'll go make my bed.
The end.
Yay, thank you all. Please think about let's hold hands, get together, hold hands. We'll all take a bow together. Are you ready? Hands up. You guys want me to gather them together to take a photo?
Yeah.
Okay, let me have